seriously. Hey, ça va? Ah, c'est allé mieux dans le passé. On fait qu'est-ce qu'on peut, hein? How did this happen?
Somebody happened.
But how? Like, but what time did they find them, though? How did they even know?
They could ping because if all of us were searching the address at the same time when they released it last night, I wonder if they can detect that like influx.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's actually, I did think about that. I did think about that last night. When I put the address in my GPS, I thought to myself, how many people are putting that in their GPS right now, and is that going to flag anything?
That's what, yeah.
It's very clear to me. We do outreach in the streets all the time, and people are starting to know, and they kind of look down in an embarrassed way. They need to take action. They need to stop eating animals. Thanksgiving is all about compassion and care. Where's the care for who's on your plate?
It's crazy, yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, so the activists here just wanted to show the truth. That's the only reason why we are all here today. Look how many people, that's amazing. So many people from all around the country came here today in the name of those miserable, beautiful turkeys who are locked there like they are prisoners when they never did nothing wrong to nobody, right?
Exactly.
The only wrong thing they did is to be born into this very, very sick world, really. Thank you all for watching, thank you for sharing, and thank you for all these beautiful people who came here today and are here now. That's really amazing. And I hope to all the people that listen to us that something will change today, that you will understand that we are not allowed to show the truth. We are not allowed to show what's really happening. And how can people change something if they don't know? And why? Why the public shouldn't know about it?
The public need to know. The public need to stop trusting the politicians who don't know anything about what's going on inside these white farms. The industry talks about how safe they are. We know that these places go up in fire. I've been inside. They're a toxic mess. The air is thick with particles, with dust, with cobwebs. The electricals are all rusting away. They're just basically fires waiting to happen. The places are disgusting.
And I understood that they are very proud of how they are biohazard, their facility and everything, but I always ask, why are you trying to find so many wrong way, like right way to do the wrong thing, right? It's wrong from just being, so stop and try to find the way to make it happen.
And especially with so many alternatives now. I mean, there's Tofurky. I bet that for years. I've been vegan, like, I would imagine we've got years and years and years of veganism around us. Vegans are healthy, vegans are strong. You don't need animals to survive at all. Just leave them off your plate. Swap to a plant-based diet. The truth is, it just needs to be known. It really does.
That's the only way the public can make a decision and decide not to be part of it. And people don't want to see because it's horrible. But we need to see and we need to know the truth.
Absolutely. So we have activists here from all across Canada. We have activists from Israel. Everyone has come to support our inside team who are ready in biohazard gear, who are ready to go inside and expose the truth again. And we are at Hybrid Turkeys. This is in Bright, Ontario, and Hybrid is the biggest breeding facility of turkeys in the world. They supply 60% of the grocery stores. And can you imagine imagine they actually extract the semen from male turkeys. You have human workers doing this to the male turkeys, and then they artificially inseminate females again and again. And this results in organ damage, in failed systems. The turkeys are taken on to be killed, ground up for dog meat, and then the babies are killed at 3 to 4 months old. I think we should all know how turkeys are killed. While they're still alive, they're grabbed, they're hung upside down while they're still alive on a moving chain. It's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare.
And you know what I think the public doesn't know, Jenny, is really how these beautiful turkeys are. You met them when they are in sanctuaries and when they are free. Can you tell us a little bit about how amazing, beautiful creatures they are?
They actually have a lot of different vocalizations. When turkeys are happy, there's a beautiful little purring noise that comes out. And then they have different vocalizations with their partners. They're all unique. They all have their individual personalities. People know about cats and dogs. Turkeys and all animals are just like any animal, just like us.
They like to be pet so much. I don't know if you ever pet a turkey, but they like it, and they close their eyes and they put their head on your lap, and just like the dogs and the cats that we have back home, it's just the same.
And they have their favorite foods, and they have their favorite little scratches points under the wing.
Just like the cat.
Yes.
It's beautiful, and the public doesn't get to know these things. What we all know is that they are locked up and they're supposed to be food, but they are not. No, they're not.
Animals should not be.
Okay, all participants, if you guys can start lining up actually with the rest of the group, and we're going to get everybody off the road.
So we have our police liaison here. We're going to give some instructions to our activists. Our priorities
And the turkeys as well.
Police station. And we will be there in support for our organisers of Meet the Victims Canada. The turkeys are inside. In this horrendous place, hybrid turkeys in Bright, Ontario. The police have formed a line and will be arresting us if we go inside. We will not be going inside. We will do some singing outside. Perhaps we will do some chanting. You are all welcome to live stream as much as you want, to take video as much as you want. I need to thank our original organisers, Amy Serrano and Jen Vegan Shank.
Justice for them.
Justice for Amy! Justice for Jen!
Justice for Jen!
Justice for the turkeys!
Justice for the turkeys!
Next week is Canadian Thanksgiving. It's supposed to be all about compassion. Why is that compassion not extended to those we deem food? Animals are not food. So I just want to reiterate today that this is not a failure. We are still here. We are loud and proud right outside Hybrid Turkeys near Kitchener, Ontario.
Jenny, I'm sorry. It was really scratchy. We need you to say that again about Whale 156, about Regan. Please, hold on. Are we ready, guys? Sorry, guys. We got to get this. Are you ready? Everybody? Okay, because it was really scratchy. Yes? I know. Get out of the way. Wait, 2 minutes, please. Jenny, just give your voice a rest. Do that again. That was perfect. Sorry, everybody. We're making a documentary on this. So.
We have a documentary filmmaker here. who is making the story about Bill 156 about Regan. I'm just going to repeat what I said because now we have to clear a mic. So we are here.
No, give it a minute, sorry. We just got to get our sound ready. Okay, but
Peter the Queen, I need you to get my bag with the statements in.
Again, yes, you are just tuning in. We are on Thailand.
We are here at Hybrid Turkey Farm. I don't like calling it a farm, it's a place of animal torture.
yeah.
We are here with Meet the Victims Canada. We have our inside team. We had our inside team ready with biohazard gear to go inside peacefully and occupy this place until the media came. And we have now a line of police stopping us from going inside. Bill 156 is an animal agriculture gag law that was introduced by the Ontario government in conjunction with the industry. This attempts to stop whistleblowers, to stop undercover footage, to stop activists exposing the truth to the Canadian public and all around the world. When Bill 156 received royal assent the day before, Regan Russell made a post. It was her very last post. She said, "This is evil. We need to fight. We need to fight this." And the very next day she was killed, violently killed, by a transport trailer full of pigs at Fearman's in Burlington, Ontario. Her partner Mark has not been allowed to see the video of her death. Shame. We need the public to be able to see videos. We need the public to know what's going on inside these places. Next week is Canadian Thanksgiving. Our ask, extend your circle of compassion to animals. Please, leave animals off your plate. Swap to a plant-based diet. That means vegan in my language. We need to stop the abuse and use of animals. We need to expose the realities. And we need to thank all these activists who've flown in all across Canada to be here today. Over 200 of you. Thank you!
Jenny, could you say something about this is not a failure?
This is absolutely not a failure. Even though our main organisers have been arrested by the police, we are still here, loud and proud, and we will never stop fighting for the animals. I'm going to read a statement now that we prepared. I need light. You can shine me a light. We are Meet the Victims Canada. Over 200 animal rights activists are staging a mass protest at one of Hybrid Turkey's breeding farms in Bright, Ontario, just near Kitchener in Canada. It's a week before the Thanksgiving holiday of Canada. We had hoped that many of our activists would be inside, filming the atrocities that were happening right behind us. Now we find that our organisers have been arrested and there is a police line preventing us from going inside. Yet here we are still, bringing attention to abuses that regularly occur on all factory farms. Abuses which are always hidden from public view. Now, because of Bill 156, filming abuse and live streaming inside the facilities like hybrid turkeys has been outlawed by Ontario's new Ag-Gag law, Bill 156. We are here to expose what is deliberately hidden from consumers because the public has a right to know what happens to animals before they end up on their plates. The mutilations, confinement and abuse that farm turkeys endure is horrific. And even the standard industry practices are undeniably cruel. Like breeding turkeys to grow so large, so fast, that they become crippled under their own weight, forcing them to live their entire lives inside crowded barns with toxic air. With no laws for on-farm animal welfare, and no government inspectors to proactively monitor farm conditions. One of the only ways that abuse on farms has been brought to light is when activists expose it. At hybrid turkeys and other similar farms, turkeys have been altered to the point where they are too big to breed naturally. Male breeding turkeys have their semen taken from them, and this is injected into the females via artificial insemination. Let me repeat that. Males have their semen taken from them. This aggressive process is repeated over and over, often causing hens to develop collapsed organs and prolapses. Once they are deemed unprofitable, these spent turkeys are slaughtered for dog food. Their babies, the birds that humans eat, are slaughtered at only 3 to 4 months old. Hybrid turkeys, the world's largest primary turkey breeder, which supplies 60% of grocery store turkeys in Canada, was previously exposed in 2014 by the advocacy organisation Mercy for Animals. That investigation revealed shocking treatment of birds, including workers kicking and throwing turkeys, crushing their spines with bolt cutters, and viciously beating them with shovels and metal rods. Video footage also revealed turkeys with gaping, pus-filled wounds and rotting eyes who were left to suffer and slowly die. This is why we need to repeal Bill 156. As a result of this exposure, Hybrid Turkeys was convicted of animal cruelty in 2015 and fined a meager $5,600.
Shame.
Shame!
This was a mere slap on the wrist for clubbing animals over the head. And as we can see today, Hybrid Turkeys has failed to clean up its act. Increased exposure of animal abuse on commercial farms in Canada have given the public a glimpse of the suffering that farmed animals endure. Footage has shown farmed animals being beaten, crushed and kicked. Standard industry practices have also been exposed, like slicing off the tails and horns of farmed animals without anesthesia, killing piglets by smashing their heads against concrete floors, and confining mother pigs in crates so small they can't move. And message me if you need to see the actual footage that I've taken inside places like Adare Pork, inside places like Portgreg. Activists are also facing trial for these crimes against animals. This is why we need to repeal Bill 156. In an attempt to stop activists and others from exposing cruelty at commercial farms in Canada, the meat, dairy and egg industries lobbied to pass Ag-Gag laws in Ontario and other provinces in order to hide their abusive practices. Ontario passed its own AGAG law in June 2020. Anyone who violates Ontario's Bill 156 could be subject to arrest, prosecution, fines, and/or imprisonment.
Shame.
Shame!
While AGAG laws are relatively new to Canada, courts in several US states have found AGAG laws to be unconstitutional, violations of free speech rights, and have recognised the public interest in exposing animal suffering. The government should be putting laws in place to protect farmed animals, ensure transparency, and proactively monitor farms for compliance. This is why we need to repeal Bill 156.
Yes.
Instead, the government has given the industry free rein to inflict abuse on farmed animals with impunity, while adopting AGAG laws to hide that suffering. The public must not be prevented from witnessing this abuse when it occurs. And farm employees and concerned citizens must be allowed to film and expose unethical and criminal abuse of animals, not be harshly punished for it. And this is why we need to repeal Bill 156.
Repeal Bill 156!
AGAG laws will not prevent activists from exposing the sickening cruelty that animals on factory farms face.
Never.
No legal repercussions could ever compare to what farmed animals endure. We hope to prompt much needed legal change in order to protect animals and their advocates. But ultimately, we hope our actions encourage everyone to stop supporting these violent, abusive industries and adopt a plant-based diet. Thank you. So Regan Russell's partner is going to say a few things.
Matt, I can't see you. Are you here? Are you around?
That's behind you.
Matt's behind you? Yeah, we're going to start talking. Matt, okay.
Guys, we are going to stay here for a little while. Our documentary filmmaker wants to do an interview with Mark. This is Mark Powell, Regan's partner. Then I feel it would be nice to have some singing here. Personally, I like the song Never Walk Alone. It's like activists, my friends. We will do Jen, my friend. We will do Amy, my friend. We will do turkeys, my friends. And we will have Laura lead us on that. Then, some people have got speak outs that they'd already prepared. We have the option of doing them here, but I think also we could do those outside of the police station. So we will make that decision as we go along.
Okay, hold on. I really got to get this. I'm sorry, everybody. I really need, Mark is going to speak, and I need to get this on camera. And we're just going to set up. We have to set up, which might take a few minutes. Sorry, everybody. I really appreciate your patience.
Another update. We've just heard from Amy's mother. She's trying to get media right here. So we will probably be staying here as long as we can.
So as you can see, guys,
I don't have a comment.
Oh, I get that. But I've been told, you know, you're not supposed to express that sort of vibe, but they understand.
Yep.
We have some media, we have some technology. Somehow, not enough. Just was standing up. Reagan was killed protesting, standing up for Bill 156. And like I said, if you were driving by on that day, she's really protesting a law that makes it a law to report on a crime. And where does it stop? Where does it stop? So you may not be animal rights if you're watching this, if you're listening to me, but you gotta know an animal wrong when you see it. What's going on behind that yellow line of Waterloo's finest is an animal wrong. And no one's saying if they want to protect the rights of the farmer and say, hey, please don't enter. No one's going to run. No one's going to run in. We're going to respect that. Somehow they need 25 officers to do that, and that's a sad commentary too.
Mm-hmm.
That Doug Ford finds us such a threat
Mm-hmm.
that he's put it to them. Hold the line. You shouldn't leave your house like we all did early in the morning to stand up for cruelty, to stand up against the government of the day, and worry about your life being at risk.
Mm-hmm.
When Regan Russell stood there, she had every right to be there, as you do tonight, but she had every indication she'd be safe. And if needed protection, she'd have the protection of the police department. Tonight they're protecting someone else. I don't know if they're protecting us, but it's a gray area. It's a hard job. And when Doug Ford puts out crap like Bill 156, the police officer's job even gets harder. Spoke to a police officer last week when I was painting a crosswalk in front of that slaughterhouse. And he got it. He said, he's got a job to do. I respect his job. And they are doing their job. I don't like what they've been told to do, and maybe they don't like it either. But someone put them here tonight, and they're protecting the farmer. Everybody deserves protection. They're doing their job. I get it. I don't like it right now. I don't like the visual of it. Like we're some army that they've got to stop at the enemy line, you know. But they weren't there for Regan. They were there, but about 15 minutes earlier, they left before she was killed. Said, oh, how could this go wrong? Transport trucks coming through a gate once in a while. Person, with picket signs. What could possibly go wrong? You must be fine. See you later. There's another truck every 5 minutes. And the next one decided to floor it and kill him. No reason for that. You should not be afraid to stand up to the government of the day and stand there with some Bristol board and magic marker. And Doug Ford, in my opinion, basically has deputized those drivers. Bill 156 has said, hey, anybody's in your way, you have every right, if you work for the industry, to hold that person, to get them out of your way. You're trying to do your job, they're breaking a law, apparently, and you can hold them till the authorities arrive. Well, that driver went too far, didn't he? He somehow he was getting indoctrinated at the coffee shop in Brussels, Ontario, about what 156 means, what the language of it is. I guarantee you it's the only piece of politics he knows. He didn't know it well. And I truly believe there's an effort to tell those truck drivers, don't you worry about protesters. They're breaking a law. You do whatever you want. And on that day, he did. And I would find it risky tonight. The sun's coming up, so we've got a chance at some light being shone on us now. But man, it was risky earlier, and it was very upsetting for me to see 25 of Waterloo's finest on one side and an open road on the other. No concern for our safety. But they're taking direction. They're taking directions from Doug Ford and Bill 156. Protesters don't matter. Well, I hope it's not their daughter or their son who wants to be standing in front of a slaughterhouse one day or standing up in front of Parliament Hill about anything.
No. Standing up for what is right.
You stand up for what you believe is right, you shouldn't have your life put at risk. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight. I came because it's the right thing to do. I came because you put me in the loop. You invited me. I thank you for inviting me. It's good for the heart and good for the soul to be here tonight. Nice to know that Regan Russell has some support, and she would have been here tonight.
Yeah,
So
she would have.
can't be here. I'm here. And a lot of you are here because of her. I've learned that. So thank you.
Woo! She's with us in spirit and in our hearts.
How's it going?
Okay.
Yeah, people are doing it.
To go on the side, away from the speaker.
Today we are all gathered here because of our true love for all animals. Because we know, as most of the world exists in oblivious ignorance, that there are billions of animals suffering. Because we hear their silent screams day to day as we read an article or watch a news clip about another flesh recall or anything about animal ag industry. We think about their misery, the pain, the loneliness, the fear they live in, and that's what drives us to liberate them from this hell of an existence. This is not life. It is merely an existence. Until death. We are their protectors as they moan in agony, cry and scream for mercy. Behind those walls, we are their voices out here. Today, we were supposed to have activists in there. They were ready to risk their freedom and even lives to go behind those walls and joined our dear loved suffering animals. They put aside their anxiety and their fear of what they're about to see to witness the worst of what an innocent animal could ever endure. As of this morning, I just checked a couple of minutes ago, 4,209,531,882 animals have been murdered in Canada.
Shame!
That's not including the male chicks being ground up. That's not including the bycatch. That's not including the animals who suffered and died at the farm. That is only the number of animals they murdered for profit.
Shame!
All this suffering for profit and a few minutes of self-gratification. Absurdity. We will not stop until all animals are liberated. Until all animals are not treated as commodities or used for entertainment or tested on. The good thing is, the end has already begun. From being the first cause of deforestation, ocean ecosystem destruction, species extinction, to diseases like diabetes, heart disease, and cancer, more and more people are realizing how barbaric and destructive this industry is. They are starting to see how absurd it is that in order to get dairy, the cow has to be bred only to have her baby stolen away and thrown into the veal pen.
Shame!
When pigs don't get to see light and are in gestation crates until they are taken to the slaughterhouse.
Shame!
So chickens, little chicks, never get the touch of a mother because their eggs were hatched or they were hatched in incubators.
Shame!
A horrible industry, and we will not stop until all animals are liberated.
Yeah!
Thank you.
Very powerful.
So I'm going to sign off for now. Please share. Please tweet. I'm at VegGen on Twitter. We want the media to come down here. We're going to be here until 9:30 today. And then we're going to go to Waterloo Police Station where our organisers are.
You're gonna have my speak out that I didn't get a chance in Paluma.
Absolutely.
The police barred me from crossing
Absolutely.
it.
Take your turns and do a speak out.
Hello, everybody.
Okay, I wasn't sure if, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll introduce myself for the participants of the group and also for Waterloo Regional Police. They probably already know who I am and why I'm here, and I'm acting in the official capacity as a participant, but also as a police liaison officer. I haven't really prepared anything, so I'm just going to go off the cuff here, but there's several subjects that the trifecta of why we are here. We're here for the animals, we're here for the planet, we're also here for our health. And long story short, well, sorry, it's going to be a long story. First of all, why am I a police liaison? Well, I'm a retired RCMP officer, 33 and a half years service. British Columbia, born in Ottawa, worked in Ottawa for a bit, and then off to BC. Uniformed officer for several years doing general duty, community policing, and then the last 10 years as a media relations officer with the RCMP at the divisional level and national level. Why am I on this side of the protest line?
That's a good question. 2013, I was diagnosed with terminal cancer. Kidney cancer is a cancer that comes on by lifestyles, and the main lifestyle is your diet. So there I was in my late 40s, approaching retirement, and talking to my physician and going for my triannual, hearing stuff like, well, Dan, you got metabolic syndrome happening, you're pre-diabetic, you're high cholesterol, and high blood pressure, and you're about 35 pounds overweight. And I think males, North American males, that's the type of conversation that you hear from your physician a lot. And as a police officer, it was a pretty common thing when I looked around at my watchmates and the people I worked around me. And we all eat the same way. So that was a bit of a warning sign, and my wife got us on to learning about eating plant-based and what it might do for us. Actually, we got into it because my son wanted to weightlift, and everybody at the gym said, oh, you got to have whey powder. And she went to the store, and the clerk, oddly enough, said, who are you buying that for? It was this big tub of whey powder. And she said, I'm buying this for my 16-year-old son who was told at the gym he needs to eat protein to build muscle. The clerk leaned in, and she says, you want to go and do some research. Don't feed this to your kids. And that was it. That back in 2010 brought us down that wormhole. In those 2 years, my wife, from 300 pounds, dropped to 133 pounds. She became the healthiest she'd been in decades.
Wow.
I dropped about 35 pounds and went back to the physician for my next annuals. And I was no longer metabolic syndrome. I was no longer pre-diabetic. I was no longer had high blood pressure. And I no longer had high cholesterol levels. Why? Because I eliminated 95% animal derivative ingredients out of my diet. All our chronic illnesses, most of our chronic illnesses are from lifestyle, and the main lifestyle is our diet. 93% of type 2 diabetes could be reversed with a plant-based diet. 93% of heart disease can be reversed with a plant-based diet. That's fact. You can ask physicians that question. So there I was, 2 years later, dropped the weight, healthier than ever, almost nearing my retirement, and I thought I had the world by the tail. And then 1 week, I had abdominal pain, extreme abdominal pain, and I put it off all week at work. They looked at me like, you look like hell, what's going on? I don't know, something like that, maybe kidney stones or something. Went to the emergency ward that Saturday evening, and got scans. And they said, they rushed me into a room, and they said, within 2 minutes of just, he walked right into the room, he had the papers in his hand, 2 sentences, 2 words, says, Dan, it's not kidney stones, it's cancer. Your right kidney is one massive tumor. So, just like in the movies, you know, you're standing there and you hear the word cancer, and you hear it's metastasized. It's out of your right kidney, and it's metastasized into your vena cava. It's also growing up to your through your lymph nodes. There's no treatment for stage 4 kidney cancer. You can get onto a trial study perhaps, but certainly surgery. But they kept telling me, other than the cancer, you're extremely healthy, and it's really, really odd. You know, so in those 2 years of eating 95% plant-based and still scarfing crap down when I was on shift work, I became very, very healthy. That cancer would have been growing in me for about 15, 20 years. But by adopting the plant-based diet, certainly we may have slowed things, and certainly got me healthier to fight the cancer itself. Because if you're unhealthy, you don't stand a chance with cancer. So, you're probably wondering, where's this all going? Why am I directing this to the police? Blah, blah, blah. But I had surgery. They removed the right kidney. And again, they were amazed. And they said, you're an extremely great candidate for the surgery because it's a massive surgery. We're going to cut you open. The officers will know this. I was a corporal. I had my hooks. And I was looking for my 3rd chevron. But I never thought I'd get it across my abdomen. So I got my 3rds, but in a weird way, because I have a chevron scar across my abdomen with about 54 staples. I survived the surgery, and I recuperated from the surgery. Again, the surgeons and all my physicians and medical team were amazed. I left work, and fortunately, I'm a federal employee, so I have the luxury of saying to my workplace that I'm going home, possibly to die, but I still have a salary, I still have the pension, my wife and my family will be cared for. And I essentially told my workmates that I was going home to die. And over those 2 years, from 2013 onwards, the first thing was the surgery, and then a trial study drug. And the trial study drug was immunotherapy, is now on the market. And the trial study drug just about killed me. I was supposed to be on those drugs, 3 treatments of the 2 drugs for the 5 weeks, and then I was supposed to be on a maintenance dosage for the rest of my life. Those drugs are $100,000 a year. It's not sustainable. But I had a side effect from the drug only 3 treatments into it, and the drugs just about killed me, so Schweppes, whatever their name is, Merck, or I'm not sure, I shouldn't say that, but the drug company, whichever they were, shook my hand, said you're no longer in the trial study because they don't like to kill their trial study patients, do they? But I recuperated from the drugs. What they did, it attacked my liver, and I recuperated from that as well. And we had been told that we would be naive to think that the cancer wouldn't spread and grow. And I had scans almost every 6 weeks. Even prior to receiving the dosage, it never spread, it never grew, it never went to other organs, never went to the bones or to the blood. And every day I felt really good, and I thought, okay, well, this is cool. And you know, you take it day by day. And kept going to the physicians. They kept shrugging their shoulders. They didn't want to hear about plant-based nutrition. They didn't want to muddy the waters for the trial study. And they started looking at me saying, well, it's not spreading. You got three lymph nodes that are affected, but lo and behold, we're seeing some shrinkage in your lymph nodes. And then by the fall, they said, your cancer's in remission. And one of my last scans in 2014 was around Christmas time. So marked almost 2 years to the last Christmas, where I was on the slab at the Vancouver General Hospital Christmas Eve, being operated on, getting my kidney out. And I got the scan results in January. Said you're cancer free. There's no. Your cancer is radiologically undetectable. And they said, keep doing what you're doing, Dan. It's not until about today we're starting to hear even our cancer agencies are talking about plant-based nutrition. Our Canada Food Guide a couple of years ago advised all Canadians to focus on plant-based nutrition and look at eliminating animal products, derivative products from their food, from their diet, be it obesity, weight loss, cancers, diabetes, autoimmune disease, heart disease. It's all connected, lifestyles. Okay, well, that's great, Dan. You survived cancer, and you're an advocate, and we do outreach under our tag Indian Rock Vegans, and we've spoken to many different health groups. And then when I was recovering, I started learning about animal agriculture. And till my 40s, I thought cows ate grass and made milk. They didn't outright say that in school, but essentially that's what we were led to believe. Cows eat grass and make milk. And I'm a parent. I'm not a mother, but I'm a father. But you know, and as we start to learn about things, we're like, hang on a second, that's a mammal. It's a mammal that is secreting mammalian fluids to feed her baby. Cows give milk to feed their babies. Baby cows, not baby humans.
Yeah.
Milk is species specific. And then when we look at other parts of the industry, we look at dairy itself, and then we look at what we're looking at here today with turkeys that are chopped up into pieces or cooked whole, and it's a staple of our diet because we've been told for decades that we should be eating this, we need to eat this. But then when you learn that you don't need to eat it, because we live in a rural place. We had cows by our place, beef cows, and we'd always say, oh man, we really feel really badly about eating you, but we got to do this to be healthy. No, we don't. Then when you find out that you don't, it changes your mindset. And then when you find out how horrific really what we do in the animal ag, what they do in animal ag, how they treat animals, what they do to them. That's where I'm getting to my part as to why I'm on this side of the protest line and not, well, I'm retired now, so I wouldn't be there, but I was there on the other sides of protest lines for many social justice movements. Police officers, it's ingrained into us, it's galvanized into our psyche that victimization is victimization. And when we see violence, or become aware of violence and become aware of victimization, and we become aware of victims of violence, our duty is to act. Our duty is to intervene. Our duty is to prevent. And our duty is to help those that are suffering from that violence, either to avoid it, prevent it, or help them afterwards. So for 33 years, I've helped human victims of violence. And then I learned about animal agriculture. I'm still helping victims of violence, just different species now. And we're all animals. We all feel pain. We all feel fear. We all feel pain when we're injured. We all suffer injuries. We all suffer psychological damage from violence. And as a media relations officer over the past 10 years, I've been involved with most of the serious crimes in British Columbia, ranging from child abductions that have some have not concluded positively, some of the most horrific homicides of young victims, older victims, victims of unknown suspects, victims of known suspects. And the degree of violence when you look at a victim. So you want to help them. And when we look at these animals, and I've been into some of the farms, and I go to sanctuaries as well too, so I see what animals can look like leading their best lives. But I've done the vigils in the province of Ontario here in British Columbia with different species. And you look into the eye of another individual, of another being, and they'll tell you what they're feeling. And if we were in those barns today, those animals would be looking at us. Firstly, they'd be fearful of us because they have an innate fear of humans, no wonder. Every once in a while, some guy jumps in the barn, grabs them by the neck or the legs, and off they go. You look around, oh, there's an empty space. It's horrific. So that's why I am here on this side of the protest line as an animal rights activist. I'm hoping, and I'm optimistic that we are seeing change, and on all factors, because when we look at the detrimental effect as well that animal ag has on our environment, it's the trifecta, be it your health, your personal health, but we shouldn't really give a rat's ass about our personal health, because if there's no planet to live on, it's not going to make a difference.
Yeah,
the
well
environmental
said.
impact that animal ag has on the planet, the debate is over. Our industry, the food industry, animal ag food industry, is a trillions and trillions of dollar industry. They have taken a page out of the tobacco playbook for decades now.
Yeah.
Dairy and meat's the new tobacco, and they're fighting the same way tobacco did tobacco loss. But the only difference is, yes, some people still do smoke today, but nobody who smokes thinks that smoking is healthy, right? Unfortunately, though, our animal derivative ingredient food industry still has us fooled, and we think it's healthy. But things are changing. When you get to the international, Canadian, American, European cancer agencies talking about, and the World Health Organization, by the way, in 2015, classified processed meats as a class 1 carcinogen. That's bacon and processed salamis and processed meats. Class 1 carcinogen states is known to cause cancer. It's in the same category as tobacco and asbestos and plutonium. You don't hear that very much on the news, do you? Because it's such a powerful industry. But we're gaining ground. You've got cancer institutes now that are talking about the links: reduce your consumption of red meat or avoid processed meats. So it's happening, and I think no matter which door people are starting to enter, be it the ethical side as to what we're doing to these poor innocent beings. That the only reason why we pick these species is because they're so docile and calm and loving and trusting. You don't see us raising lions and tigers or those types of animals, do we? No. So it's happening. It is happening. The reporter asked me today, so, you know, you've been at this for a few years now, not as long as some of the, you know, we've got some pioneers of you know, the activist field here, but yeah, things are changing and there is some more education. And when we get government agencies that are starting to talk about, you know, what we need to do and what we have to do to turn things around in a very, very short period of time, I would almost guarantee bet you that the corn that's growing around us is not corn to feed humans. This is animal feed, probably. I'd almost bet $5 it is. We're growing food to feed animals that we then slaughter. So the question is, the statistics really easy. How is it that we can feed 74 billion animals a year, grow the food to feed them, yet we can't feed 7.7 billion people on the planet?
Exactly.
You know? Canada, we are so fortunate. We are envied around the world as to how we conduct ourselves as Canadians, what Canada represents as to the social mindset, or some of it, and our land. We have some of the most fertile, widest land on the planet that's envied, and we could certainly be a leader, and we're starting to see it. We can be leader in the plant-based agriculture sector and plant-based foods. Thank God that we've got industry powerhouses in the prairies with pulses, be it chickpeas and lentils, that are quinoa, that are trying to eke out, without subsidies. Dairy, meat, and animal agriculture receives to the billions of dollars of subsidies to operate. The average salary of a dairy farm is $150,000. And they get subsidies and market adjustments and so on and so forth. With the COVID, for example, they had an assurances that regardless of what the outcome was, they would be guaranteed, you know, millions of dollars as a payout. It's just to help them along. And people ask, oh, why is healthy food so expensive? Now ask yourself why unhealthy food is so cheap. Like this owner, what's the name of this place? It's Hybrid. There's a mansion across the road there. I've got in British Columbia, we've got you know, orchards and galore and stuff. None of my friends that are growing apples have houses like that. We have fruit rotting on the trees in all provinces. We have you know, vegetables and so on, but mainly the fruit industry, for example. They're not getting subsidies like our animal ag does. Not at all. And that's time to change. That's why you've got lobbying organizations on the other side of as well, with such as Nation Rising, that we are lobbying. There's probably some participants that have done their letter writing and spoken to their MPs. That's how we're going to change things too. System change, because we got to tap our politicians on the shoulders as to, we have to change this around. It's funny, because when things started to happen with some of the protests in the past few years, particularly Meet the Victims Canada 1 in Abbotsford, British Columbia, when we attended Excelsior Pig Farm, and the horrors that were exposed in that place, with an industry vet who walked by, and you've probably all seen her photo, the one sow who was bloodied, had a chunk of flesh sitting beside her in a pool of coagulated blood. That drew my eye. As an investigator, I looked at that animal that was still alive. I didn't go in, but I saw those photos in the film of her, and I saw this pool of coagulated blood. And I thought to myself, first of all, as an investigator, said, that victim has been sitting in that blood for a long time, for that blood to coagulate like that. So the one of the asks that we had was that the animals were going to be examined possibly by a vet. We said we have a vet on hand. They brought the local vet who is paid by the industry. And he looked at that sow. He said, she's okay. And then he also said to the farmer, said, yeah, don't let the media in this side of the barn.
Shame!
And hanging up on the barn door inside, what happens in the barn stays in the barn. Yeah. Where's the farmer here today from Hybrid offering us, and they've said to us, in fact, some of the pork producers in British Columbia said, knock on our door anytime. Creekside Dairy in Agassiz, British Columbia is one of the spokespersons for the dairy industry. She's always said, yeah, knock on my door anytime, I'll give you a tour. Well, Hybrid, we're here for a tour this morning. Why wouldn't you permit a couple of us in brand new clean biohazard suits with, we have a representative of the media, and I'm sure the police will escort us in peacefully, and we can do a quick walkabout and have a look at your facility, and maybe that'll shorten our stay here today. And then maybe these officers who I would imagine some of them might be here on regular time, some of them are probably here on double bubble. Anybody know what double bubble is? It's overtime. When we have getting into police work, when we in a municipality, if you have a group that asks you, hey, we would like police coverage for our event or so on and so forth. Well, in this day and age, most police forces, agencies charge whoever that body is. A one-off like today, probably, well, who knows? Hats off to Waterloo and the other police agencies as well too for their investigational tactics that they've obviously utilized through the course of this investigation, which again just floors me. I've been connected to the largest serious crime units in British Columbia, and I know what budgets are, and I know how much resources cost, and I know how much manpower things take. I've seen rarely a murder investigation that has gotten the resources that animal rights movement is seeing in the past few years in Canada. I'm floored. It's insane. Our taxpayers' dollars helping hide the truth. And I know there's laws, we you know, but just like the back of our t-shirt says, one has a moral obligation, responsibility to disobey unjust laws. That's Martin Luther King. And I guess that was part of the group that were here today. They were prepared to do that. Bill 156. Wow, Canada. We have several provinces now that are introducing food security. They've got all the buzzwords that the public likes to hear to make them that, oh yeah, no, they're doing this for the right reasons. No, they're ag-gag laws. They're here to keep people out. They're here to hide the truth. And they're here to keep everybody out, including the media. It's my understanding some of the media didn't even want to come here today because their lawyers had said, well, there's a bit of a risk involved. If you guys were there, you might fall into this funnel of Bill 156 and be found in contravention of it, and we might get charged. So Bill 156 is affecting how our media reports to the public. I don't know. Yeah, I flew in from British Columbia and to attend this, to act in my skill set that I have, to be an advocate for each and every one of you, to be a police monitor, to also liaise with police agencies, the police of jurisdiction wherever I go. That's a wave for their ident guy for the film today. They know how to spell my name. The division liaison team of OPP, I had a chat with them several years ago where they sent their DLT team. A lot of people might not be aware of this, but they sent a team to talk at it was a pork producers meeting, big conference a couple of years ago, and it was interesting because usually the DLT division liaison team will send one of their representatives to do public talks. They brought in one of their criminal analysts to do the talk, which is an odd thing. That why is an investigator who sits behind a computer gathering evidentiary value items talking to the public so openly? And in her talk to the pork producers, she used terms like animal agriculture or animal activists as referred as to leftist extreme terrorists. I'm not a terrorist. I'm a 50-some-odd-year-old retired federal employee. She used terms such as us and them. She explained that we can help you out because they do this and we can't let them do that, and on and on and on and on like that. So that morning after I saw that article come out, so what happened was the pork producers newsletter put a summary article about this meeting that they had and the OPP talking to them, and I contacted the OPP. I was on duty actually when I called them up, and it was a Friday. I got a phone message. I was on my lunch break, so my own time. I made the call. I said, yeah, I'm so-and-so. I didn't say I was a police officer. I said, I just read this article about your officers attending the pork producers meeting in Ontario, and I was appalled. I've just been called a terrorist. And that day I tweeted and I hashtagged all the government officials, and Monday morning I got a phone call from the hate crime unit from out of Aurelia, who under their umbrella, those that monitor animal ag activists, or animal rights activists I should say, they're in charge of that. And still didn't say who I was. I just said, I'm John Q. Public, and I'm appalled as to what your officer did, and why is that officer giving that type of speech, and is that appropriate, and can I get a copy of her presentation? No. Are you filing a complaint? Well, yes, I'd like to. Well, if you want to file a complaint, you'll do that with the Ontario IOPID, I think, the Ontario Independent Police Director, Investigational Director, something like that. Anyways, but he says, well, if you want to, you can file an unofficial complaint with us, but I guarantee you, sir, as of today, we will no longer be giving that presentation, nor will that officer be giving that presentation again. And then as I spoke to them, I kept getting cop talk. So finally I identified myself, and the phone went silent for a while. But I was courteous. He was fairly courteous as well. His tone changed a little bit, and probably from that day forward, that's why they know who I am and what I'm doing and why I'm here today. So I don't know. I think I've said enough. And then for these officers, I beg and plead of you, you're doing your job today, but if you've got health issues going on, you've got family members that are suffering, look into it. Talk to somebody about whole food, plant-based.
Yeah.
And if your heart today is tugging at your strings, think about what's going on behind you in that barn. Thank you.
Same.
So, good morning. We humans are not alone on this earth. We must share it with all other creatures, big and small. We must drink the same water, bleed the same blood, and our commonalities far outweigh our differences. We have all the technology, all the resources, and all the means at our disposal to make this place a paradise for animals. But for some reason that escapes me, we've chose to make this world a living hell for these turkeys and for all these animals.
Shame.
It's a nightmare of factory farms, gas chambers, and butcher knives. We've somehow found a way to torment each species of animal in such an organized way that it has become so normalized that to question it sounds strange, even offensive. Today we are here not only to question if the way these animals, these turkeys, are mistreated is acceptable, we are here to openly defy their tormentors. We want change, we want an end to the carnage, and we want it now.
Now!
I want you to close your eyes and clear your mind, and I want you to listen carefully to my words. I want you to imagine yourself sitting inside an industrial factory farm, inside hybrid turkeys. Some dark warehouse where you're crammed in with thousands of others, with barely enough room to turn around. You are not there for a visit. This is your home now, if you can call it that. Imagine the noise. Imagine the foul smells. There's no relief, no escape, there's no hope. Just the familiar daily frustration, boredom, and misery of captivity that destroys your soul, that rots your mind and your body, that twists and disfigures you in every way possible, that steals your life, that crushes your dreams. Imagine that it is your child being taken from your arms just so that someone can have milk in their coffee. Imagine that you are next in line to be killed at the slaughterhouse just so that someone can have an extra topping on their sandwich. Imagine that it is your skin being ripped off your back for a hat. Imagine that it is you languishing in a zoo to entertain children. Imagine that it is your eyes being burned out of your face for cosmetic testing so that somebody can have a new shade of lipstick. That is the experience for countless of animals trapped in a system that measures their worth only by what we can take from them. Only when you trade places with someone else can you begin to understand the gravity and the urgency of their situation. And that is why we are here today. We want you to meet the victims. Open your eyes.
Yeah.
I want to tell you a story. Only 4 years ago, I found myself inside the bowels of hell. It was the dead of night, 2 a.m. Sweat was pouring down my face. My heart was pounding inside my chest. My mind was racing. I had just broken inside a Canadian industrial factory fur farm. I broke into it. I hopped a fence and I went inside. When I looked around, I could see hundreds of minks pacing back and forth in their rusted cages, biting at the bars, breaking their teeth on the bars. I could hear hundreds of furry little feet eerily shuffling around in the darkness, clanking on metal on their cages. I saw animals with gaping wounds, mutilated animals, sick, diseased animals. I saw dead animals in a cage that were being cannibalized by their cellmates. Their bodies had been there for weeks. I felt frustrated. I felt sad. I felt angry. I asked myself, who could do this to another living creature? Who could do this to something that is alive and treat them that way? Just for money. Those animals had to suffer for nothing on those mink farms, just like these animals are suffering for nothing, for no good reason. I would spend that entire summer documenting horrifying things at that factory farm and 4 other mink farms in southern Ontario. Each one seemed worse than the last. The media ran news stories about the atrocities I witnessed. It sparked a public debate about animal cruelty and about factory farming. The next thing I know, I'm getting arrested in 3 different cities, fighting a civil lawsuit for tens of thousands of dollars. I was facing 10 years in prison. I was banned from leaving the province. The animal agriculture industry wanted to punish me for showing people what they were desperately trying to hide. I had to go through an entire criminal trial and deal with the police. I had to deal with lawyers, news reporters, prosecutors for the next 3 years of my life. For the simple act of filming inside these hellholes. Filming them is such a threat to their image that they were willing to lock me up forever. But you know what? I would do it again in a heartbeat, because at the end of the day, it's these animals' lives and it's them that's suffering, and we are the only ones here willing to do something about it. it wasn't just me doing this on my own. Many other people were getting organized, like all of us here today, and illegally going into pig factory farms, duck factory farms, slaughterhouses, and rescuing dozens of animals from these horrendous conditions like the ones we see here in hybrid turkeys. The fur industry spends millions advertising their image as luxurious and humane. The dairy industry, the pork industry, the poultry industry, they're all based on the myth that pigs, cows, and chickens are living a happy, fun-filled life on Old MacDonald's farm. But when we show people the terrible things, the unspeakable things that these animals are forced to endure inside places like hybrid turkeys, people get upset. They stop supporting it. They stop spending. They drop out. They even go vegan. Us here today, animal rights activists, we are so great of a threat now that they've passed Orwellian egg gag laws like Bill 156, whose sole intent is to further hide animal cruelty from the public and criminalize us and anybody that's trying to expose crimes on these farms that are happening to these animals. The thing is, if you don't like the pictures of violence happening towards animals, you don't have to stop the pictures. You have to stop the violence.
Yeah!
Today we want you to meet the victims of hybrid turkeys. We want to tell their story and show you their desperation so that you have the knowledge and the power to act on that knowledge. These atrocities are happening right in your own backyard. This isn't happening in another country. This isn't happening on TV or in some faraway place. This is happening right here, right now. Those animals we can see in the shed, they're right behind us. It's not an abstract idea. It's happening right now. And the choice is up to you. If you're watching at home, you can help them. Join us. No one needs to wear a fur coat. We don't need to experiment on live animals like they do at ITR Labs in Montreal. We don't need factory farms like hybrid turkeys or pork reg.
Shut them down!
Shut them down!
We can choose to wear cruelty-free makeup. We could choose the vegan dinner option. We can have dairy-free frickin' ice cream with sprinkles and a cherry on top. World-renowned actor Joaquin Phoenix said it best: it takes nothing away from a human to be kind to an animal. We know that. We don't need to take so much from animals. You could do better. People watching at home, you could do better. We can do better as a society. The future is plant-based. The future is compassion. The future is freedom, equality, and justice. Animal liberation now and forever.
guys, for those of you tuning in, that was the wonderful
So you see what's going on here.
potential many
That
years
was
of
a
Christmas just
beautiful
for exposing the truth.
very
Very powerful.
No, here, I can hold it if you want. We'll just that was good. That was a good mic. That was a good mic drop right there.
Yeah, and so thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing and thank you for your time. Thank you. Really, really appreciating
Warmed up today, so if you can pull out your phones, if you have any battery left, please pull out your phones right now and Google www.imagineanimalliberation.com. You'll see the lyrics there for the song. It's John Lennon's Imagine, but the lyrics have been rewritten for animal rights. Yes. Okay, can I just remind you guys quickly, someone wants me to ask to remind you, just no laughing, please. Please stay very solemn. This is a very solemn event. Thank you so much. I know it's hard to remember that. Thank you so much. ImagineAnimalLiberation.com. You'll see the lyrics right there. I wrote these lyrics a few years ago, and then I found out someone else already did it, but oh well. So we're just using mine. It's a beautiful song that really works for animal liberation, the one John Lennon wrote, and I hope you enjoy it. Please sing along. Please don't be shy. Help me out. Thank you. Imagine they're all free. It's easy if you try. No hell around them. Above them only sky. Imagine all animals living life in peace. Imagine there's no killing. It isn't hard to do. No slaughterhouses. No exploitation too. Animal liberation for a better world. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Animals are not possessions. They are not products too. Breed is how we got here. Justice starts with you. Animal liberation, justice, peace, and love. You may say that I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us, and the world will be as one. Thank you so much.
Keep on walking proudly.
Keep on walking proudly.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Gonna work for liberation.
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 Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Gonna free them from their cages.
Free them from their
Gonna
cages.
free them from their cages.
Free them from their
Gonna
cages.
free them from their cages.
Free them from their cages.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Gonna keep on loving boldly.
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 Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
We're gonna rescue every animal.
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 Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Thank you.
Yay! Woo!
More repeating some? Animals.
Animals.
Our friends.
Our friends.
You
Do not walk alone.
We will.
We will
Walk with you.
walk with you
And sing your spirit home. Liberation.
liberation.
Our friends.
Our friends.
You do not walk alone. We will.
We will
Walk with you.
walk with you
And sing your spirit home. Courage. My friends. You do not walk alone. We will.
We will
Walk with you.
walk with you
And sing your spirit home. Justice.
justice.
My friend.
My friend,
You do not walk alone. We will
we will
walk with you
walk with you
and sing your spirit home. Freedom.
freedom.
My friend.
My friend,
You do not walk alone. We will walk with you
walk with you
and sing your spirit home. Turkeys.
turkeys.
Our friends.
Our friends,
You do not walk alone. We will
walk with you
and sing your spirit home.
Woo. Thank you. We will walk with you. Walk with you. What is it? Can you show me the last thing? Let's just you repeat it again. Oh, this was nice. I like that. Walk with you. Liberation. my friends. You doubt what? Here, let's see how far I can go with it. Oh yeah. You'd have to bring it like... I was gonna go do a speak out anyway. Do you want me to go do that? And then I'll just... Sorry you guys. I'm just gonna come through here for a second and see if this is gonna work or not. Kind of, maybe. And also, is it on? No, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. Do you think you could put it on though? Oh, that makes a lot more sense. Okay. I guess I'll just stay right here, okay? Sorry, you guys. All right. So same, I usually speak off my heart, but I spoke from my heart, but I wrote it as well, just to make sure that everything was good, okay? I never liked seeing turkeys on a kitchen table. I would even mention that to my parents as a child, but I was just told not to think about it. I knew inside that it was wrong. It was years later when I became vegan that I finally understood the impact behind animal agriculture and what it took for that turkey to end up on that kitchen table. And what I learned was not pretty. Not for us, not for the turkeys, and not for our planet. This information isn't easily available to consumers. I had to research it on my own. The industry does everything in their power to desperately hide the mutilations, confinement, and brutality that they inflict on these animals. It would horrify anyone if only they could see inside. I've had the pleasure of meeting turkeys in my life, all of whom were rescued from being ruthlessly slaughtered. One individual was called Freedom, and she was such an amazing gal. Every time I visited her, she would come up to give me a hug and ask for cuddles. She would make these adorable turkey noises, almost like a cat purring, as she received love and gave love in return. She was the kindest soul. Freedom was rescued from the animal agriculture industry and was never going to be hurt again, unlike so many others just like her. Behind what we can't see right now even. She would have been on someone's dinner table for Thanksgiving. How ironic. Thanksgiving. But instead, some kind souls were brave enough to risk their own freedom and give her a second chance. It's not fair what we're doing to these birds, to all farmed and exploited animals. And now, here in Ontario, we have to stand up against Bill 156, an ag-gag law that was passed during a pandemic, under the table, trying to prevent whistleblowers, activists, or any concerned citizen from documenting and showing people what actually happens to animals killed for food. If I would have known, or really, if my parents would have known what actually happens to those turkeys sitting on our kitchen table, if we would have seen their suffering, if we would have connected with the miserable reality that these innocent birds are bred into, and if we could have made an educated and informed decision, no one would wish their horrible existence on their own worst enemy. That's why we are here today. That's why we were to have an amazing team of activists inside, willing to sacrifice in order to challenge Bill 156 and force transparency. We need whistleblowers and activists to expose the criminal and legal abuses that are rampant in this industry. Even the standard practices are horrifying, like chopping off the ends of their toes and chunks of their beaks,
or forcing them to grow so big, so fast, that their legs literally break beneath them. These industries will stop at nothing to hide their abuse of animals because their profits rely on it. We are here for all the individuals who are hidden from society, living in absolute filth and misery, tortured and kept captive against their will. We are here to demand protection for them under the law. This use and violence inflicted upon animals should be criminal, and we are here because unjust laws are meant to be broken. Yeah. Bill 156 must be repealed, and activists will continue to show up until all animals are protected under the law. Enough is enough. As the quote says, those who have the privilege to know have the duty to act. So now, let me ask you, what side of history will you be on? Will you be on the side that decreases suffering in this world, or the side that hides the suffering and the violence in order for it to continue? The power is in your hands. Thanks, everyone. I'm gonna also very quickly perform a little song. We'll see what happens. It's called Speak Out. It's really good, actually. It's a really, really good song by Jason Oliver, is what I'm understanding from the list that we all saw. It burns in my heart, it burns in my heart to see them suffering. It burns in my heart, it burns in my heart to hear them and misery. I cannot stay silent amongst these symbols of violence. I will not stay silent amongst all this violence. I will speak out loudly, speak out proudly. I will speak out loudly, speak out proudly. I will speak out even though my voice shakes. Speak out even though I'm afraid. Speak out boldly until everyone is free. Free, 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 free. I cannot be silent amongst these symbols of violence. No, I will not stay silent amongst all this violence. I will speak out loudly, speak out proudly. I will speak out loudly, speak out proudly. I will speak out even though my voice shakes. Speak out even though I'm afraid. Speak out boldly until everyone is free. Free, 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 free. Silence is complicit to the violence that we witness. Our silence is complicit to the violence that we witness. Our silence is complicit to the violence that we witness. Our silence is complicit, and it's time that we end this. We must speak out loudly, speak out proudly. We must speak out loudly, speak out. Proudly we must speak out, even though our voice shakes. Speak out, even though we're afraid. Speak out boldly until everyone is free. Free, 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 until everyone is free. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate that. My voice was definitely shaking.
All right. I don't know who else wants to talk or do anything. You what?
Same battery. That's pretty good battery.
Algo que nos va a hacer sentir mal, sino de que es una muestra de que estamos causando efecto, estamos, la gente, el sistema, la policía, el gobierno y las industrias nos tienen miedo y no saben ya cómo deshacerse de nosotros, pero nosotros no vamos a dar un paso atrás. Nosotros estamos con más dedicación y con mucha más entrega y fuerza por la liberación animal. No nos vamos a rendir, somos miles de activistas alrededor del mundo que nos inspiramos los unos a los otros en cada rincón, y estas actividades simplemente son un paso más, una piedra más que tenemos que sobrellevar, y no nos vamos a rendir por los animales, por justicia y por nuestro planeta.
¡Woo!
What can I say that hasn't been said already? But basically what I was trying to say is, do not be afraid. Let this not be a deterrent. We are not going to give up. We are not going to step back. This is just a stepping stone. This is just one more thing that we need to wave through. All of us around the world are watching each other. We are all inspiring each other. We know that we're not alone. We, no matter, like, we may not know our names right now, but because of the fight that we are in, we love already each other. We know that we can count on each other. Unfortunately, whatever happened today, it was unfortunate, but we will not give up, and we are going to continue.
Hi, hello. So I'm Jasmine from Israel, and I came all the way from Israel to join this action and to be here with you today. And unfortunately, what we wanted to do today is just to expose the truth, like what we do in all the Meet the Victims action all around the world. And it didn't happen. And we were not able to show you the animals, and you seeing us, only us talking here in behalf of those beautiful animals. But this facility has been documented, and the things that have been documented inside will go outside, and the public will see what's going on inside there. And I can tell you that it's horrible. We felt like that how can we do it without going inside and without exposing the truth, because this is the whole point of doing this Meet the Victims action. But even standing here, even when we cannot go inside, I think it's very, very powerful, and it shows a lot of strength, and I think it's a lot of determination, I don't know. Yeah, thank you, of all of us who being here, that this is how much it is important to us. And I was saying before, I don't know if you heard that, I'm always trying to find what I have in common with the one that stands in front of me. In this case, it's the police officers of Canada. The only thing we have, you know what, there is probably other things we have in common. I'm sure we all love animals. I'm sure you love animals, just like I love animals, and just like all the other people here love animals. But what other thing we have in common today is that we don't want to be here. You don't want to be here, and we don't want to be here. You are here because of your jobs, and we are here because of those beautiful animals just behind this beautiful field. We can live. Nobody forced us to be here now. You can't. You can't live. You have to stay here until we leave. And I think it tells you a lot about the people that are here today, that they are not living, even that they can, and it's raining, and people are tired and travel from all around the country to come here, and they're staying in the rain, and they're not going. Maybe there is something in what they say worth listening to. Maybe those people that are going outside of their house and not willing to stop, maybe there is something in what they're trying to say. And I look at your faces. Now when I speak, you don't look at me, and I understand that. And I'm sorry that you are caught up in this situation, but I always say in the action in Israel, and I guess I can say it here as well, the police force never see these places. Only when we do the action, then the police forces have to go inside these facilities and to see what's going on there. So in this case, you couldn't see what's going on there, but you could see all these people here and maybe listen to what they say today. So I'm happy that you are here, and I'm happy that you are forced to be here, but you're also listening to us. And I'm sure that when you go home today, something change. For sure something change. And we are not against you, and we are not against humans. The only reason we are here today is just because we love animals. That's all. So I want to say thank you so much for all the people who are watching us from all around the world. By the way, I don't know if you know, but you have support from all around the world. We saw it on the live streaming, and it's amazing. And there is so many people speaking in so many different languages, but saying basically the same thing. Just let them be. Just let them be there, just like the dogs and the cats that we have back home. And the last thing that I will say is that the fact that the action was supposed to be here today is because of the Thanksgiving of Canada. That's going to happen next weekend. For the people in Canada and the USA that are still celebrating with a living creature, not living anymore, dead creature lying in your plates, this is not a celebration. And there is other beautiful way to celebrate. And all of us are here just to show you that you can. And we are just want you to listen to us and to choose differently. So thank you all so much for being here today. And I hope we won't need these actions anymore. Thank you.
I'm not sure. What did you want to say?
I just wanted to tell, how I used to be a hunter and how I used to bless the animal as I shot him.
That'd be great, I think. That'd be a great, 100%. If you feel good about it and you think that you can touch the public or touch the officers, then go for it.
The connection between you go up and then turn on.
Yeah.
And you need to walk and introduce yourself as well when you do it, right?
For my own sustenance, because of
Yeah.
my native tradition.
Great.
And
Sure.
I don't know.
Go for it. Yeah, just explain how you changed and start with your name and step a bit away. So that
Yeah.
And where you're from, too.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
I'm Kat Horner. I'm from Red Deer, Alberta, I guess. That's what everybody knows me from. I'm just here to talk about how I went vegan and how all of us, all of our amazing stories on how we went vegan, our life. I used to be a hunter. I always used to get the big buck, you know, be the proud macho hunter. And I used to bless the deer as I shot him. And I said to myself one day, why does this deer get to be blessed as I shoot him? But all the animals on the slaughter truck don't. They're just products. They're something that is going to be turned into, well, someone that's going to be turned into something. Something that we don't even recognize. We chow their bodies down in between 2 slices of bread, and it's gone within 5 minutes. Their whole lives are gone just for those 5 minutes of our enjoyment. And we can see today that these people are eating really awesome chickpea tuna sandwiches. And it's friggin' delicious, is it not? Woo! That's like one of my favorite sandwiches. But yeah, anybody can change. Anybody can, you know, if we can't change, then there is a problem. Because change, everybody needs a little change. I was walking by a homeless person and they said, can you spare some change? And I said, here you go, everybody needs a little change. And we do. We all need a little change in our lives. Whether it be small steps, big steps, whatever it is, we need to do it. Because our 5-minute meals 3 times a day are destroying our planet, is exploiting these poor animals, and just, they go through literal hell. This is hell on earth. If you really think that there's a hell after you die, no, it's inside that barn. And you know what? We couldn't go in there. And do you really think that we could get a tour if we called and asked? I called and asked many, believe me. But no, they'll never give you a tour. Even if they offer on media, they'll still never give you a tour. Though I was given one tour in a Hutterite colony when I was hunting, because who cares about biosecurity if you're not an activist? That's what Bill 156 is. It's to hide that. You think we can't go near horse carriages because it's going to be affecting the rest of the flock or the rest of the herd? No, it's one single horse who tons of people walk by, and who there's no biosecurity risk there. Why is Bill 156 even? Mark said it. Mark said it all. Why is Bill 156 here? And, you know, I just want to say thank you to everybody for being here, especially, you know, traveling. I know it. These animals deserve to be shown, to show what their life is like. Though it's small and short, yes, I know they're filled with bacitracin, methylene disalicylate. That's the antibiotic that they feed them so that they gain weight rapidly. And then at the short age of, what is it, like 3 months or 6 weeks, turkeys are slaughtered. You know, when they live to be years old. And I never really had compassion, even when I was beginning as a vegan, for birds, because they just really freaked me out, just to be honest. And then there was 5 turkeys rescued at a similar action liberation lockdown in Alberta. And those 5 turkeys, we got to go visit them afterwards. And I sat on the ground, and he came right up to me, curled up on my lap like a dog, like my dog. And I just pet him. You know, one thing that turkeys love is for you to stick your hands under their wings. Their wings are so warm under there. When I used to be a hunter, I used to go, how do they even stay warm? I don't know. Like, how? Well, after sticking my hand in and feeling their warmth and their heart, you know that there's someone and not something.
Thank you. Thank you. That was excellent. That was excellent.
It was silly.
No, it's good. Thank you for that. No appetite? Me neither.
I need something.
I'm trying to stop myself to go talk to every individual cop standing beside us.
Do you want a partner? Sure.
Hey?
Do you want a partner?
No, I'm trying to stop myself. Do you want to be the partner that stops me?
Deserves freedom. That's the reason we're here.
That's the reason we're here.
Every lamb has a story.
Every lamb has a story.
And you'll know when you're near.
And you'll know when you're near.
That each one deserves freedom.
That each one deserves freedom.
That's the reason we're here.
That's the reason we're here.
Every hand has a story.
Every hand has a story.
And you'll know when you're near.
And you'll know when you're near.
That each one deserves freedom.
That each one deserves freedom.
That's the reason we're here.
That's the reason we're here.
Every goat has a story.
Every goat has a story.
And you'll know when you're near.
And you'll know when you're near.
That each one deserves freedom.
That each one deserves freedom.
That's the reason we're here.
That's the reason we're here.
Every fish has a story.
Every fish has a story.
And you'll know when you're near.
And you'll know when you're near.
That each one deserves freedom.
That each one deserves freedom.
That's the reason we're here.
That's the reason we're here.
Every deer has a story.
Every deer has a story.
And you'll know when you're near.
And you'll know when you're near.
That each one deserves freedom.
That each one deserves freedom.
That's the reason we're here.
That's the reason we're here.
Every bird has a story.
Every bird has a story.
And you'll know when you're near.
And you'll know when you're near.
That each one deserves freedom.
That each one deserves freedom.
That's the reason we're here.
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 I don't know if it's right.
I will come closer.
I will come closer.
I will come closer.
When you're in pain.
When you're in pain.
I will stay with you.
I will stay with you.
When you're afraid.
When you're afraid.
I will watch for you.
I will watch for you.
All through the night.
All through the night.
And if you need me.
And if you need me.
I will fight.
I will fight.
I will come closer.
I will come closer.
When you're in pain.
When you're in pain.
I will stay with you.
I will stay with you.
When you're afraid.
When you're afraid.
I will watch for you.
I will watch for you.
All through the night.
All through the night.
And if you need me.
And if you need me.
I will fight.
I will fight.
I will come closer.
I will come closer.
When you're in pain.
When you're in pain.
I will stay with you.
I will stay with you.
When you're afraid.
When you're afraid.
I will watch for you.
I will watch for you.
All through the night.
All through the night.
And if you need me.
And if you need me.
I will fight.
I will fight.
I will come closer.
I will come closer.
When you're in pain.
When you're in pain.
I will stay with you.
I will stay with you.
When you're afraid.
When you're afraid.
I will watch for you.
I will watch for you.
All through the night.
All through the night.
And if you need me.
And if you need me.
I will fight.
I will fight.
I will come closer.
I will come closer.
When you're in pain.
When you're in pain. I will stay with you. When you're afraid. I will watch for you. All through the night. And if you need me, I will fight. I will come closer. When you're in pain, I will stay with you. When you're afraid, I will watch for you. All through the night. And if you need me, I will fight. I will come closer. When you're in pain, I will stay with you. When you're afraid, I will watch for you. All through the night. And if you need me, I will fight. And if you need me, I will fight. My friends, I will walk with you and sing your spirit home. Animals, my friends, not walk alone. I will walk with you. Turkeys, my friends, will not walk alone. We will walk with you. Courage, my friends, not walk alone. I will walk with you in your spirit home. Officers, my friends, not walk alone. We will walk with you, sing your spirit home. Freedom, my friends, not walk alone. I will walk with you and sing your spirit home. Just
justice. My friend,
you will not walk alone. I will walk with you. Give me your comments on this amazing vegan sandwich.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, eh?
It's amazing tuna. This is my first tuna.
I think I
Actually,
need one
my
too.
second. What's about Dave?
Eh?
Davey. I didn't see Davey.
My friends, you will not walk alone. Oops. We will walk with you, your spirit home.
Amy,
Amy, our friend,
you do
not walk alone.
We
will walk with you,
and sing
your spirit home.
Jan,
our friend,
you do
not walk alone.
We will
walk with you,
and
sing your spirit home.
David,
our friend,
you do
not walk alone.
We will
walk with you,
and
sing your spirit home.
Nick,
our friend,
we do
not walk alone.
We will
walk with you, and sing your spirit home. Activists, our friends,
you do
not walk alone. We will walk with you, and sing your spirit home. All animals, our friends,
you do not
walk alone. We will walk with you, sing your spirit home. Whew, okay.
What do we want?
Animal liberation!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Animal liberation!
When do we want it?
Now!
Justice for turkeys! Their baby!
Not ours!
Their lives!
Not ours!
Their freedom!
Not ours!
Their body!
Not ours!
Their lives!
Not ours!
Their freedom!
Not ours!
Their body!
Not ours!
Their baby!
Not ours!
Their lives!
Not ours!
Their freedom!
Not ours!
Thank you.
I was afraid to get down.
get directed. I know, I would never be able to get up.
Look at all these beautiful faces. Oh my God. Oh, hey guys. How's it going? Yeah, it's been better, eh? Are they still coming or? Yeah. Eh? Okay.
Yeah, sorry, it's like turning into it's like 10:15 now.
Yeah.
I'm being so in 11 minutes ago, CTB is going to be 15 minutes. So he should be here in like 4 minutes.
Oh, okay, okay. So do we? What do we want to do? I thought that's why we were all kind of lining up and stuff.
Like CTB, like a photo shoot.
Yeah.
But yeah, we totally want people still lined up.
Do you want them streaming again?
It'd be great to do something.
Yeah.
Can everybody get back in line so that we're ready, please?
There you go.
We will probably need to do 2 or 3.
Yeah. She like read her mind right there. Which one are you thinking?
No, Jenny just asked me to hang on to this.
Are you gonna sing? Let's do it. Yeah, we wanna. If you're down, let's just do it.
Gonna keep on moving forward.
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 Gonna keep on moving
Gonna
forward.
keep on moving forward.
Keep on growing stronger.
Keep on growing stronger.
Gonna keep on growing stronger.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Gonna keep on walking proudly.
Keep on walking proudly.
Keep on walking proudly.
Keep on walking proudly.
Gonna keep on walking proudly.
Keep on walking proudly.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Gonna work for liberation.
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 Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Gonna free them from their cages.
Free them from their
Gonna
cages.
free them from their cages.
Free them from their
Gonna
cages.
free them from their cages.
Free them from their cages.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Gonna rescue every animal.
Rescue every
We're
animal.
gonna rescue every animal.
Rescue every
Gonna
animal.
rescue every animal.
Rescue every animal.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Gonna keep on singing loudly.
Keep on singing
Gonna
loudly.
keep on singing loudly.
Keep on singing loudly.
Gonna keep on singing loudly.
Keep on singing loudly.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Gonna keep on loving boldly.
Keep on loving
Gonna
boldly.
keep on loving boldly.
Keep on loving boldly.
Keep on loving boldly.
Keep on loving boldly.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
Never turning back.
police don't have to make a face. You guys can stand in line.
That's up to you. It's on, but it's not filming or anything. So this thing is right in front of the microphone. So if you want to start, just spelling your first and last name. And your title. Perfect. So, do you want to read the statement first, or?
Yeah, that's right.
Sure.
We, Army Victims Canada, over 200 animal rights activists held a staged mass protest at one of Hybrid Turkey's breeding farms in Brighton, Ontario, a week before the Thanksgiving dinner. These activists are occupying the factory farm in defiance of Ontario's new Agriculture Gag Law, Bill 156. We are bringing attention to abuses that regularly occur on all factory farms, which is nearly always hidden from public view. However, filming abuse and live streaming inside the facilities of hybrid turkeys is outlawed by Ontario's new AGAG law. We are here to expose what is deliberately hidden from consumers because the public has a right to know what happens to animals before they end up on their plates. The mutilations, confinement and abuse that farmed turkeys endure is horrific. And even the standard industry practices are undeniably cruel. Like breeding turkeys to grow so large, so fast, that they become crippled under their own weight, and then forcing them to live their entire lives inside crowded barns with toxic air. With no laws for on-farm animal welfare, and no government inspectors to proactively monitor practices, one of the only ways that abuse on farms has been brought to light is when activists expose it. At Hybrid Turkeys and other similar farms, turkeys have been altered to the point where they have too big to breed naturally. Male breeding turkeys have their semen taken from them, and it is injected into the females via artificial insemination. This aggressive process is repeated over and over, often causing hens to develop collapsed organs and prolapses. Once they are deemed unprofitable, these spent turkeys are slaughtered for dog food. Their babies, the birds that humans eat, are slaughtered at only 3 to 4 months old. Hybrid Turkeys, the world's largest primary turkey breeder, which supplies 60% grocery store turkeys in Canada, was previously exposed in 2014 by the advocacy organisation Mercy for Animals. That investigation revealed the shocking treatment of birds, including workers kicking and throwing turkeys, crushing their spines with bolt cutters, and viciously beating them with shovels and metal rods. Video footage also revealed turkeys escaping hospital wounds and rotting eyes that are left to suffer and slowly die. As a result of this exposure, Hybrid Turkeys was convicted of animal cruelty in 2015 and fined a meagre $5,600. This was a mere slap on the wrist for clubbing animals over the head, and as we see today, Hybrid Turkeys has failed to clean up its act. Increased exposure of animal abuse in commercial farms in Canada have given the public a glimpse of animals endure. Footage has shown farmed animals being beaten, crushed and kicked. Standard industry practices have also been exposed, like slicing off the tails and horns of farmed animals without anesthesia, killing piglets by smashing their heads against concrete walls, and confining mother pigs in gestation crates so small they cannot move. In an attempt to stop activists and others from exposing cruelty at commercial farms in Canada, the meat, dairy and egg industries lobbied to pass AGAG laws in Ontario and other provinces in order to hide their abusive practices. Ontario passed its own AGAG law, Bill 156, in June 2020. Anyone who violates Ontario's Bill 156 could be subject to arrest, prosecution, fines, and/or imprisonment. While AGAG laws are relatively new to Canada, courts in several US states have found AGAG laws to be unconstitutional violations of free speech rights and have recognised the public interest in exposing animal suffering. The government should be putting laws in place to protect farm animals, ensure transparency, and proactively monitor farms for compliance. Instead, the government has given the industry free rein to inflict abuse on farmed animals with impunity, while adopting AGAG laws to hide that suffering. The public must not be prevented from witnessing this abuse when it occurs, and farm employees and concerned citizens must be allowed to film and expose unethical and criminal abuse of animals, not be harshly punished for it. AGAG laws will not prevent activists from exposing the sickening cruelty that animals on factory farms face. No legal repercussions could ever compare to what farm animals endure. We hope to prompt much needed legal change in order to protect animals and their advocates. But ultimately, we hope our actions encourage everyone to stop supporting these violent, abusive industries and adopt a plant-based diet.
You arrived around 5 a.m. today. What happened when you arrived?
We arrived to a police line. So we were very peaceful. We wanted to go inside and document. We demand that the media be let inside to document. We'd love for you to ask the police line, can they let you inside? But this is the result of Bill 156. It's a dangerous AGAG bill that is preventing activists and concerned citizens from taking video. We could receive fines for up to $15,000 each for being inside this place. But we were willing to take that risk as Meet the Victims Canada.
They said you guys have been peaceful through the whole protest. The arrests were for prior planning to the protest. Any thoughts on that?
Why are we arresting people who want to expose the truth? Why is Bill 156 trying to hide from the Canadian public what happens in animal agriculture? Like we have the lies of the meat, the dairy and the egg industry about their practices. This is not just one bad apple. It's indicative of all the abuse and torture that animals face.
Has there been, I guess, any communication to the owner of the farm between you guys and them?
We would love for the owner to come out. We would have a dialogue. We would ask him, can we film inside? What is he hiding?
But that's never happened at all?
That has not happened in my understanding right now. But I would love to be escorted in by and chat.
Now that the arrests have happened, what are you doing going forward?
We're still agriculture, we want them to take notice that we're not giving up. And then we'll go and support our friends who've been arrested at the police station.
This is a pretty egg area. How has the treatment been with people driving by?
No one has been abusive to us. In fact, we've been doing outreach with people who have been stopping. We've had beats of support. And I think people do actually know what is happening, which is why perhaps, we're not getting abuse. We're just getting support for people. It's Thanksgiving next week. We're asking people to stop eating animals. It's very easy. It really is. Adopt a plant-based diet.
This is the second protest of the same name, or do you plan to do a third?
As I said, we're not fucking down. Ag laws won't stop us. We'll continue with our work. Arrests don't stop us.
Anything else?
Thank you for being here. What can people do? They can contact their Ontario MPPs and they can ask them to repeal Bill 156.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Got full-on VIP service over here. VIP. Do you want me to hold it, or? Are you sure? Every time I kept looking at you like, do you want me to hold it?
Would you be able to take the camera to the police line and ask them about going inside?
I can ask them. I mean, I'd imagine the answer is no because it's private property, but you can ask them.
But they have nothing to hide, right? So we'll welcome you right in.
It'd be great if we could get a video of you asking them and see what their answer is.
Because this is food for people, so.
Yeah, right? We all know how humane it is and how wonderful it is and how it's treated.
How happy they are.
Because I am going to contact the farm and just actually ask them for an interview themselves.
Well, you're here right now. It can't hurt that.
Yeah.
Bill 156 makes it a crime to expose a crime, basically. You can't document anything in an animal protection zone.
This is Malcolm Lewis, who just went through a mink trial. The judge's statement is really interesting, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, some of them were dropped. My last heard that he's in court.
And did you say the people that got arrested would be available for an interview?
I think they've just been released. I just received a phone call from them, so it'd be great if you wanted to come along to the police station.
Yeah, no, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, do you know which station you guys are heading to?
Waterloo Central.
Okay.
The North Division one, I think, right?
Well, it says Waterloo and then Central and
Because their main is in get a shot of that.
Yeah, I want to give you a little backstory if you got a second. So, like in 2013, Mercy for Animals did an investigation here. They hired an employee working for Mercy for Animals, working for hybrid turkeys. So it was an undercover investigation. They were filming people decapitating turkeys with a bolt cutter while they're alive, feeding them to death with steel rods. Their organs were hanging out of their ass, basically. And they got charged with animal cruelty. I can't remember if they were convicted or not. I'm sure they were. And basically, Bill 156 makes that illegal. Undercover employees can no longer go in. It's a crime. So that's why we're here today, because they can't do investigations like that anymore. And we know the same stuff's still happening there because people go in here and film it.
And are you guys able to file freedom of information requests or anything? Like for that information?
we have done. We've done freedom of information requests that show animals, so many animals dying here.
Yeah.
But there's no actual law inside these cases. There's regulations, but they're run by industry. So you've got the National Farm Animal Care Council that then take calls and are not interested when you say that their codes are being broken. It's
okay.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get a shot of the entire protest from the other side of the road.
Do you want me to like follow you with
okay.
this thing?
Thank you.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Okay.
Usually I just stand in the rain. This is
okay. You're enjoying the VIP
this
treatment.
Is extra treatment.
See, that's what happens with non-violent.
Seriously.
Whose umbrella is this?
Mine.
You can hold it for yourself now. Thanks for noticing that, you guys.
Yeah, we didn't want it to collapse.
Yeah, that's very, very, very smart. Thank you.
It'll also make the job a lot easier when you collapse it down.
I didn't realize they were doing that. Pulling water. No, I don't know. I think he's recording right now. It's because we wanted to show the cops in the back. That's why. The police officers in the back.
Yeah.
To show that we were being stopped, do you know what I mean, from going in. But if we're all aligned, we don't see them anymore.
No, because he doesn't have a...
Well, absolutely. We'll make that call for you right now. But they didn't even pull up the phone yet. So, you have media. We're not asking for activists to go inside. We're not asking for anything. It would be an unbiased opinion. They can show the lecture. No bias. Without just reporters anything. So, let them come inside. Let them film. And show the public where their quote-unquote food comes from. That's not going to happen. So we're going to sing a bit, and maybe the kings of oppression will open the floodgates and let us in.
You also run around me.
Right on the property.
Life inside my body. Let me be free. Freedom from your tyranny is all I've ever wanted. It's all I've ever wanted. Liberation. For the animals. Liberation. Because we are animals, we're all animals. Go on, be brave. Go out there, make history, and bring justice to my life, love. Bring justice to the lives lost. Because every day they will try to convince you that humane murder is justified. But believe me, I don't want to die. But I'm at your mercy, and you are the difference be the voices of the silence. In the silence, stop the violence. And organize, mobilize. Speak up for the defenseless. Without you, we're defenseless. Liberation for the animals. Liberation. 'Cause we are all animals. We're all animals. What drives harmful behavior? That will guide you towards justice on this day, yeah. Because I want to be happy, safe, and free. Just be happy, safe, and free every day. Oh, liberation for the animals. Liberation, because we are all animals, we're all animals.
Thank you everybody for being here so much. Every single person matters so much, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. So I do have an announcement. A few of our activists have been released now. Amy apparently is still in the courthouse. There's a bail negotiation happening there. But I think we are finished at this site for today. And those who are willing and able, if you want to come to the police station, I'll put the address in the chat. We've tried to negotiate with the police to have the media at least come inside. That request was denied. We were given a number to call. I asked whether the farmer could come out, and that was not going to happen either. But I want to really thank you so much for coming out today on behalf of everyone. Like, we're all in this together. We're all organisers. We've had some amazing performances today. And at the same time, the turkeys are right close to us, going through hell. And that's what it's all about. So check the chat. We're going to pack up here, and then we're going to spend some time in Waterloo at the police station.
All right, second location today. We have Jen, David, Amy, Nick, and Bridget that have been arrested here. And we're not 100% sure what's going to happen. Is it closed? They close it?
It's all the video conferences are done by bail. The bail hearings are done by video conference.
Okay.
So I don't know. They're not letting us in.
But are they still here right now?
They've let the three go. They're only holding it like 17 days. I speak my mind.
Their bodies!
Not ours!
Their freedom!
Not ours!
Their lives!
Not ours!
Their freedom!
Not ours!
What do we want?
Animal liberation!
When do we want it?
Now!
It's not food!
It's violence!
It's not food!
It's violence!
Justice for Amy!
Justice for Amy!
Justice for Amy!
Justice for Amy!
Justice for Nick!
Justice for Nick!
Justice for Nick! Nick!
Justice for Nick!
Justice for David!
Justice for David!
Justice for David!
Justice for David!
Justice for Jen!
Justice for Jen!
Justice for Jen!
Justice for Jen!
Justice for the turkeys!
Justice for the turkeys!
Justice for the turkeys!
Justice for the turkeys!
Bridget?
Oh yeah, I forgot about Bridget.
In one generation!
I forgot about Bridget. Fuck. Was that me? Maybe that's me. That was not me.
I forgot Bridget, so justice for Bridget!
Justice for Bridget!
Justice for Amy!
Justice for Amy!
Justice for Nick!
Justice for Nick!
Justice for David!
Justice for David!
Justice for Jen!
Justice for Jen!
Justice for turkeys!
Justice for turkeys!
Justice for all animals!
Justice for all animals!
What do we want?
Animal liberation!
When do we want it?
Now!
Laura, do you want to say? People are like,
set them free!
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 Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free!
Set them free! Set them free!
Set them free! Set them free! Set them free!
Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free!
Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free!
Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free! Set them free!
Repeal Bill 156!
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 One struggle, one fight! One struggle, one fight!
Human freedom, animal rights!
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 It's not food!
It's violence!
It's not food!
It's violence!
Their bodies!
Not ours!
Their freedom!
Not ours!
Their lives!
Not ours!
Their babies!
Not ours!
What do we want?
Animal liberation!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Animal liberation!
When do we want it?
Now!
Is there anything specific that you would like for us to do?
I'm just waiting to speak
Oh,
to
okay.
Amy.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So when she comes out, you're gonna be able to interview her? Amazing. You're not worried about
Single for life, that's it.
Just
Done.
a sniper, a real sniper. You're just going to have lots of kids. And by kids, I mean cars.
Exactly.
Justice for Amy!
Justice for Amy!
Justice for Nick!
Justice for Nick!
Justice for David!
Justice for David!
Justice for Jen!
Justice for Jen!
Bridget.
Justice for Bridget!
Justice for Bridget!
Justice for Kirsten!
Justice for Kirsten!
She got released too, so.
Yeah, Regan.
Justice for Regan!
Justice for Regan!
Justice for all!
Justice for all!
Hi everyone. That like most of us can vouch for.
But if they work on the comment, let's just say maybe the people that have already been, like maybe it's people that have already done it and have gotten in trouble, so now it's really.
Tag team.
Yep.
Okay, are you ready? Yeah. And go again. So your name and why are you here today?
My name is Natalie. I'm from Montreal and I drove here 6 hours with friends to be part of the Meet the Victims campaign today, Victims Action, which is when normal people who just care very much about animals being abused for unnecessary products come together and approach a farm, infiltrate or enter a farm, and lock down inside of it, and then peacefully await the police to arrive so that they can negotiate demands for these animals. Unfortunately, that did not happen today. It went very differently, and unfortunately, some of our fellow activists were arrested. Some are still inside right now having a bail hearing, and we are here to support them.
Okay, I'm just going to stop so I have a fresh clip. Now, this is not your first time doing this, right? I understand you've done this before.
I have not done Meet the Victims specifically before, but I have done farm occupations. In 2019, I entered a pig farm in St. Hyacinthe, Quebec, with 11 Canadian women and 1 American man. And it was exactly the same objective, just to expose the cruelty, the horrific treatment, and just perfect existence of these animals for taste pleasure, for items we don't eat, for greed, for human supremacy. It might be a strange term to a lot of people, but human supremacy is the idea that we are above all the other animals, that we have dominion over them, and therefore we have the right to treat them however we decide we want to treat them, which is wrong. We have power over the animals, but that means that we have a great responsibility to do well by them and to protect them, not to exploit and slaughter them.
And what would you say to people that say they're just animals, like who cares? They're
just dogs, so should we do whatever we want to dogs? They're just white people, they're just black people, they're just Aboriginal people, they're just women, they're just children, they're just individuals who suffer the same way we do, who deserve the same very, very basic right of being free from harm, free from tyranny, protected, and not exploited unnecessarily. But necessity is the whole thing. If we had to hurt animals to survive, it would be a very different conversation. But we don't need to. We know that now. So all harm is completely unnecessary. And that's what makes it wrong. It's very simple. When you think of it that way, unnecessary harm is evil. It's always wrong. There's no other way to look at it.
awesome.
That was a great answer.
Yeah, that was a great answer.
That was really good. Is there anything you want to say that I didn't ask you about that you want to say? Like, I'm not recording right this second, but that you want me to record, that you want to get out? Okay.
The only thing I want to say...
Wait.
Oh, sorry. The only other thing I want to say is that I am just a regular person. We are all just regular people. We are your daughters, your mothers, your sons, your uncles, your nephews, and we just want this world to be kinder, and anybody else can join this movement. Please join us. You in your heart are no different from us. You are against violence, I'm sure. You are against animal exploitation in some way. You are against animal abuse, absolutely. You are against discrimination. Pig, dog, what's the difference? There's no difference. You are against oppression. This is oppression what we do to animals, and I'm sure that if you think of it that way, you'll realize that we are on the same side, and it's just about changing the way that you live in this world and making it as kind as possible. Okay.
Well said. Yeah. Good work. High five for that.
Thank you.
Bop. Our friends will not walk alone. We will walk with you, bring your spirit home. Nick, our friend will not walk alone. We will